This is the violent crime report for the city of Columbus for the period of March 13th through March 19th. We had one homicide and 11 shootings. First up, we have Tyrese Jefferson as the victim, age 39. On March 13th, 2021, patrol officers were dispatched to the Confidential Gentlemen's Club located at 1962 Lake Club Drive on the report of a shooting. Upon arrival, officers found the victim in the parking lot, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound to his left shoulder and right arm. The victim stated that as he was exiting the club, an unknown gunman started shooting, striking him 2 times. The victim was transported to a local hospital in stable condition as expected to survive his injuries. Next up, we have 2 victims, juvenile male, age 16, and Stephen Solins Jr., age 24. Victim number 1, a walk-in at a local hospital, only provided his name to hospital staff. Victim number 1 was suffering from an apparent gunshot to the face. When questioned by detectives, he stated that he did not know where the shooting occurred or why he was shot. He was given pain medication and was unconscious during the detectives' attempt at an interview. Victim number 2 was a walk-in at a local hospital. He was suffering from a gunshot to the leg. He was in serious but stable condition. Given the relationship of both victims, the investigation is being conducted as though it happened out of the same incident. Both victims are expected to survive their injuries. Next report, we have a victim, Andrew J. Townsend, age 33. The victim stated he was standing in the front yard of 1978 Joyce Avenue when an unknown car traveling southbound began fire multiple gunshots in his direction. The victim attempted to run inside and was struck in the leg by gunfire. Columbus Fire Medic number 18 responded and transported the victim to Grant Hospital in serious condition, where he was treated in the emergency room. Prior to the shooting call, multiple shot spotters calls came in from the same area. Detectives responded to Grant Hospital and interviewed the suspect. Victim was in stable condition after being admitted. Detectives then responded to the scene, took photos, collected evidence, and spoke with witnesses. Next victim, we have a juvenile male, age 16. On March 15, 2021, at approximately 1:23 a.m., Columbus Police Patrol officers were dispatched to Riverside Methodist Hospital on a shooting victim that walked into the emergency room. When officers arrived, the victim was intubated by the medical staff and could not make any statements. The victim was shot in the right cheek but was in stable condition and is expected to survive the injury. Next, we have 2 victims, a John Doe, male, age unknown, and a juvenile male, age 17. Suspect, Arshad J. Lawson, age 20. On March 15, 2021, Columbus police were dispatched to the Polaris Mall located at 1500 Polaris Parkway on a call of shots fired inside of the mall. Upon arrival, Columbus Police Patrol units, assisted by SWAT, cleared the building for threats and the evacuation of employees and mall patrons. Witnesses informed detectives that they observed a group of unidentified subjects arguing in the breezeway when one of the unidentified subjects brandished a handgun and fired multiple rounds from his weapon. Witnesses stated that after the incident, all the identified subjects left the building. No injuries were reported at the time of the incident. On March 18, 2021, Mr. Arshad J. Lawson was positively identified as the shooting suspect from the Polaris Mall shooting incident on 3/15/2021. Mr. Lawson was charged with felonious assault in the Delaware County Court of Common Pleas, and he is currently in custody at the Franklin County Jail. Next, we have a drive-by shooting outside of a bar. Victim, Brandon Kinney, age 32. The victim was standing in front of Shots and Slices Bar, located at 546 East Whittier Street, when an unknown suspect pulled up in front of the bar driving a dark-colored sedan. The suspect fired approximately 15 shots at multiple patrons standing outside of the bar, striking the listed victim. Victim self-transported to a local hospital and was in stable condition. Next, we have a victim, Donald Anderson, age 63. On March 17, 2021, at approximately 12:08 p.m., Columbus police officers were dispatched to the area of East Livingston Avenue and Beechwood Road on a report of a shooting. Upon arrival, officers made contact with the victim, Donald Anderson, at the Eagle gas station. Mr. Anderson was suffering from a gunshot wound to the chest and to the neck. Mr. Anderson told officers that he had walked in front of a vehicle as he was walking in the parking lot of the business. He stated an unknown male black individual exited the driver's side of a gray Honda CR-V and fired multiple gunshots, striking Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson was transported to a local hospital in critical condition and was later upgraded to serious condition. Next, we have a victim, Zaid Al-Nababte. He is 22 years old. And victim, Ibrahim A. Talib, age 21. On March 17th of 2021 at approximately 9:52 p.m., Columbus Police Patrol officers responded to Easton Town Center on reports of gunshots fired on mall property. Upon arrival, officers spoke to Mr. Talib and Mr. Al-Nababte, who stated they had gotten into a verbal altercation with a person when that person fired a gunshot at them. Neither of the victims were struck by the gunfire. The suspect fled the scene in a silver Dodge Charger. Next, we have a victim, Larry Latham, aged 18. On March 17, 2021, at approximately 7:32 p.m., Columbus Police Patrol officers responded to a local area hospital on a report of a walk-in shooting victim. Upon arrival, officers spoke to Larry Latham, who stated he was walking across 18th Avenue at Cleveland Avenue when an unknown person shot him in the shoulder. Mr. Latham became uncooperative with the investigation. Mr. Latham was in stable condition. Next, we have Isaiah McGee, aged 18. On March 18, 2021, at approximately 11:28 a.m., Columbus police officers responded to the 1600 block of Kenmore Road on report of a shooting. Officers located the victim, Isaiah McGee, suffering from a gunshot wound to the leg. Mr. McGee stated he was shot in the area of East Hudson Street and Joyce Avenue the previous evening. March 17, 2021, at approximately 11 p.m. Mr. McGee was transported to a local area hospital where he is expected to survive his injuries. The circumstances surrounding the incident are still under investigation. Next, we have a shooting investigation. Victim, Michaela Payne, age 27. On March 18, 2021, at 9:42 p.m., Columbus Police Patrol officers were dispatched to the area of 4448 Bennington Pond Drive on a female that was screaming that she had been shot. Upon arrival, officers located a pair of women's sandals on the sidewalk. Blood droplets were located on the sidewalk and blood splatter was found on a vehicle parked near the blood droplets. A witness stated that the female got into a silver vehicle that left the area at a high rate of speed. At 9:58 p.m., an unknown person driving a Chevy Impala dropped Michaela Payne off in front of a local hospital. The Impala was last observed traveling towards East Town Street. Miss Payne was suffering from a gunshot wound to her left elbow. She was admitted to a local hospital for her injuries. Miss Payne stated that she was shot somewhere on East Whittier Street by an unknown person. Miss Payne's statements did not match the evidence and witness statements regarding where the crime had occurred. This shooting is an ongoing investigation. Lastly, we have our homicide investigation. Victim, Charles Jeffrey Shaw, Jr., age 24. On Thursday, March 18, 2021, at 6:47 a.m., Columbus police officers were called to 756 Dolton Court on a report of a shooting. On arrival, officers found 24-year-old Charles Jeffrey Shaw, Jr. deceased in front of the location. Anyone with information regarding this incident is asked to call Columbus Police Homicide Unit or Central Ohio Crime Stoppers. This is the 41st homicide in Columbus, Ohio in calendar year 2021. This concludes the violent crime report for the city of Columbus for the period of March 13th through March 19th, 2021. Be safe out there.